What's up, everybody? My name is Brad. This is my Hotshot channel, Twin Rivers Hotshot. Today, I'm going to go over something that literally just happened to us. Again, we got scammed by a double broker. Pay attention, because we got around it, and I'll show you how we did it.
Twin Rivers Hotshot.
This is a crazy story, but like I said in a previous video, there's two ways double brokering goes on. They either skim off the top of the full amount, or they mark it up and you book it and then they don't pay. So mainly what goes on a lot is the skimming, just somebody being in the middle, just collecting money for nothing. You could be doing everything right. For instance, we credit check this company, and they're probably the second biggest brokerage in the nation, Landstar. I had a driver in Georgia, and he needed to get home for the weekend. He lives in Texas, so we booked him from Georgia to Amarillo. And it wasn't the best. It was like $2.85 a mile, or excuse me, $1.85 a mile. But it was like 13 feet, so we were going to throw something with it. The guy said, well, hey, I have a reload after Amarillo. It's going to Houston, so two loads. How much for this one? $1,000. I'm like, can't do any more. Like, that's it. That's all I got in it. All right. So basically, it was the same thing, $1.85, and make 3,500 or whatever. What is it? 2,400. Make 3,400 going home. Driver gets on location. He's on time. Goes and checks in. We get an email. Email says, "Hey, load's been canceled. Have your driver vacate premises immediately." Right then, I already knew what it was. It's 2 o'clock, 2 p.m. To get washed out at 2 p.m., chances of reloading, very, very slim. His whole day was shot now, and that really kind of pissed me off, right? I already knew what it was. I'm like, okay, there's some scamming going on. There's some fraud going on. Because they didn't have any phone numbers. All they had was an address. They didn't even have the company name. And I mean, this is Landstar. We've done a lot of stuff for them. And I'm not saying Landstar is bad. I'm just saying this happened with Landstar. Basically, we look it up, get a phone number, call. Lady answers the phone, it's shipping. I asked her, I said, hey, I got a driver on site. What's going on? We're trying to get him loaded and back home. She said, sir, I can't send you with this load. Well, why not? It was booked under a different company name. When we credit check these businesses, if there's any fraud, there'll be a little red flag by it, and it says, hey, if you think this load is fraud, call this number. So how can we prove that it was fraud when we called Landstar's number? It's literally in their system as a valid load. It's not going to come back as fraudulent load. It was booked, and then Landstar turned around and put it out there, so it was in their system. The broker ends up calling my phone, and I'm like, hey, sorry, man, I was going to let this go, but this is the second time it's happened to me in a couple months, and I'm not real happy about it. I got a driver on site. I said, man, what is it going to take? We're there. We carry top tier insurance, 250 cargo, $1 million. Let's just make this happen. And he said, well, how much was the load going to Amarillo? How much did it pay? And I said, well, it was $2,400. He didn't want to come off it anymore. And the only reason why I took it is because we were trying to get our guy home. And he said, man, I paid $3,150 on that. But also after that load, we had that Lubbock to Houston one booked. He was wanting to pay $1,000 on it. The broker started laughing. He's like, man, that was my load. He said, crazy thing is, I've been doing business with this guy over the last couple months. He said, I've probably done $300,000-$400,000 worth of work with him. And I was like, oh, man. Just skimming out of the carrier's pockets. That's all it is. And it's just real unfortunate. Got all the paperwork in, got our driver on it. But, The dude's done $300,000-$400,000 worth of scamming with that guy, and the issue comes with, if I'm a broker and I give somebody a load the contracts between us two, insurance and all that, well, if that person turns around and gives it to somebody else, the liability, on that is if something happens, the middle broker is the one on the insurance. I mean, it's illegal. It's illegal. It turned out to be $1,150. He was trying to pocket for doing absolutely nothing, just being in the way. And to make a long story short, I'd turn around and pitch it to the broker. We're like, hey, look, well, you do this. I mean, I can't do $400,000 worth of work, but I said, man, can I start checking in with you when I'm around your locations, because they're nationwide. When this happened, we went right to work. We didn't let any grass grow under our feet, because the longer we would have waited, hey, there's fraud going on here. We can't release the load. We moved on it quick, and that way that guy couldn't turn around and book it to somebody. And, just didn't lay down. So have you guys been in this situation? If so, comment, leave me a message. I want to hear how you guys went about it. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.